time here. I'm in Australia now. Thank you. So, any specific chapters from Chaitanya Charitamrita Mataji you discuss, or just I can discuss from anywhere?
Prabhu, it would be very nice to a topic. Hope you got it from Vinil, the art of Vaishnava relationship. We would like to hear from from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, how we can keep the Vaishnava relationship very nice and wonderful, even though there may be misunderstandings. Sometimes there could be some bitter experiences, but still we can go on with, the proper mood. Thank you, Prabhu.
I'll discuss a few questions from...
Sorry, Prabhu, is it any kirtan or is it there? Not, it's early morning you said. I'm not sure whether that's...
I can do 5 o'clock here now. It's okay.
Oh, so, 5 o'clock.
It's Mangalore time. So, you want me do some bhajan, sing some bhajan now?
If it is possible, any kirtan, and then you can do our straight away the session also, okay, Prabhu, or if any short kirtan.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute. So we'll sing one beautiful bhajan written by Devaki Nandan Das. This is actually the glories of Vaishnavas, especially the glories of Lord Chaitanya's devotees. If you can see on screen, you can open in your mobile phone also.
You can see.
So, yeah. So this is written Vrindavan Devaki Nandan Das Thakur.
Prabhu, yeah, okay.
Yes. You're saying something, Mataji?
Yeah, I could see someone in the chat. Prabhu's volume is a little bit low.
There's a maximum I can speak.
Yeah, because it's quite early in the morning for Prabhu there.
After singing bhajan, my voice will be fine.
Okay. Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
So this very beautiful bhajan, instructive bhajan, is Devaki Nandan Das, the author of this bhajan. Some says this Devaki Nandan Das, he was actually earlier Madhai, Jagai Madhai. Jagai Madhai, and they became devotee by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And especially Madhai, he developed, kind of, humility, humble mode. He went to the bank of the Ganges, and he was kind of offering obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who were coming to take bath in Ganga. So he became such a great devotee. And then, like Haridas Thakur, he used to chant 3 lakhs name of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Madhai also, he started to chant 2 lakhs, chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, and then he became such a great devotee. Earlier he was offending everyone, but now he's offering obeisances to each and every Vaishnava. So this song I'll just sing quickly, few strangers. Vrindavana vasi jato Vaishnaveroga Prathame vandana Pari Savarachara Nilachalo vasi jato Mahaprabhurga Bhumite padiya Bando Savarachara Navadipavasi jato Mahaprabhur bhakto সবার চরণ বন্দ হয়ায়ন রক্ত মহাপ্রভুর ভক্ত যত গৌড় দেশে স্থিতি সবার চরণ বন্দ করিয়া প্রাণতি যে দেশে বৈশে গৌরাঙ্গের ঊর্ধ্ববাহ করি বন্দ সবার চরণ হইয়াছে না হইবে না প্রভুর যত দাস সবার চরণ বন্দ দন্তে করি ব্রহ্মাণ্ড তারিতে শক্তি ধরে জনে জনে এ বেদ পুরাণে গুণ গাই জীবা শুনে মহাপ্রভুর গণ সব পতিত পাবন তাই লভে মই পাপী লইন বন্দনা করিতে মই কত শক্তি ধরি তম বুদ্ধি দোষে মই দম্ভ মাত্র করি তথাপি মুখের ভাগ্য মনের উল্লাস দোষস্বমী মোহধমে করণী যদাস সর্ববাঞ্ছা সিদ্ধি হয় যমবন্ধ ছুটে জগতে দুর্লভ হইয়া প্রেম ধন লুটে মনের বাসনা পূর্ণ চিরাতে হয় দেবকী নন্দন দাস এই লোভে কায় হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 hare hare. So just quickly with the translation of this beautiful bhajan. So this actually bhajan is showing how to offer our respect to all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Vaishnavas. So first he says, Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnaviragan Prathome Bandhana Kari Savara Charan. At first I offer my obeisances to all the devotees of Vrindavan, all the residents of Vrindavan. So it's Vrindavan Vasi. And the second he says Nilachala Vasi. Nilachal Vasi means, who are the Nilachal Vasi?
Residents of Navadip Dham. Puri, Jagannath Puri.
So then he says, Bhumite Podiya Bandhu Sabar Charan, I prostrate myself and offer my obeisances to the devotees of Mahaprabhugan, the Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya's devotees in Jagannath Puri. And then he says, Navadipa Vasijata Mahaprabhu Bhakta Savaru Charana Bandha Hiya Anurakta. And then I offer my obeisances to all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadip. So it's not like, he is offering obeisances all together. First, I am offering obeisances to Vrindavan Vasi, Nilachal Vasi, Navadip Vasi. So, like specifically, he categorized all the Vaishnavas. Now, we do, Vancha Kalpataru Bhasha, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindaki, all together. All the Vaishnavas of all over the world, including Mahaprabhu's associates. But these devotees are so brilliant, Mahaprabhu's associates. He was offering obeisances categorically to all the Vaishnavas. Not only this. So now, after this, he says, Mahaprabhu Bhakta Jata Goda Deshe Sthiti Savaro Charana Kariya Pranati. Now I offer my obeisances to all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Goda Desh. Goda Desh means Bengal, especially where the Ganges water flows. So I offer my obeisances to them. Now, someone may say, what about us? What about London Basi? What about other Vaishnavas, Then he says, Jedeshe Vaishya Gorangragan. So he says, wherever maybe the Vaishnava Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devotees are there, I, raising my hand, I offer my obeisances to the lotus feet. See, the so brilliant, he offered obeisances to each and every devotees. So, Vrindavan Vasi, Nilachal Vasi, Navadip Vasi, and then devotees from Bengal, and then devotees in all over the world. Now, see, now someone may say, okay, he is offering obeisances to the Vaishnavas who are currently present. Whatever the Vaishnavas who left their body, who were with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and what about the Vaishnavas who are going to, born in this world in future. So therefore, next line he says, Hoya Chena Hoi Vena Prabhur Jatadas. So I offer my obeisances to devotees you know, who have been the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who will become servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, so he completed each and every Vaishnava. No Vaishnava will born in this world, so he offered his obeisances to each and every one. And then he says, Vaishnava is so powerful. Why I am offering my obeisances? Because Brahmanda Tarita Shakti Dhara Jana Jana. Because a Vaishnava has the potency to deliver Brahmanda. Powerful Vaishnava, So, that's how, And then another important line, he says, Bandhana karite mui kata shakti dhari. Now, after, glorifying Vaishnavas, I may feel, false pride because I am offering my business to Vaishnavas. I can do a lot of Vaishnav seva, Sometimes this dambha, he says, dambha matra kare. Sometimes this, this false ego works, you know, I am rendering service to so many Vaishnavas, I am taking many Vaishnavas, I am glorifying Vaishnavas. He says, it's not possible with our, mundane intelligence to glorify Vaishnavas because their quality is unlimited. And if I think I am actually glorifying Vaishnavas, I am rendering service to Vaishnavas, that will be simply dambha, false pride, But yet, he says, even if it is, a false ego to claim that, uh, I am, glorifying Vaishnavas, tathapi mukira bhagya mane rollers. Yet I want to do that because Vaishnavas, by glorifying Vaishnavas, Sarva Bancha Siddhi Hai Jamavanda Chute. All our desires will be fulfilled, Okay, Hare Krishna. So okay. We'll discuss few instructive lessons from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. How much time we have? Mataji, you can remind me maybe 10 minutes before and to finish.
Okay, Prabhu.
So one very important, story comes in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prastham, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dealing with Sanatana Goswami, how to appreciate each other Vaishnava, So Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, but because of Sachi Mata's request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, and he sent 6 Goswamis, especially Rup and Sanatan, to rediscover Dham and to fulfill the Mahaprabhu's desire, whatever Mahaprabhu wanted to do. So Sanatan Goswami, 1 year they used to come every year to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri and to give report what are they doing. So Sanatana Goswami, while coming 1 year to Jagannath Puri, he got sick because it's almost 1 month long walking those days, and he got kind of boils and pimples on his foot, legs, and diseases because he was drinking water from everywhere, from the forest, lakes, So he got these skin diseases, and so when he arrived Jagannath Puri, he thought in his mind that I'm actually useless now. I could not fulfill Mahaprabhu's desire. And my body is not in any use for Lord Chaitanya's service. And also, I am so fallen that I was working under that Muslim king for so many years. My body is contaminated. Therefore, this time when I go to Jagannath Puri, I will quit my body by coming under the chariot of Lord Jagannath. That was the plan of Sanatana Goswami. So with that motive, Sanatana Goswami came to Jagannath Puri. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Haridas Thakur. These three, they never used to enter into Jagannath temple. Haridas Thakur, because he was born in a Muslim family. Sanatan and Rupa Goswami, they could enter, but because of their humbleness, they thought because we were always associating with Muslim people, that's why we are contaminated. So they, whenever they would go to Jagannath Puri, they would stay with Haridas Thakur in Siddhavakul, close to Jagannath temple. And they would see the chakra of Jagannath temple. They would not enter into the temple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every day he used to come. Every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come from Jagannath temple after morning darshan, and he would bring prasadam for Haridas, Sanatan, and Rupa Goswami. So that year, when Sanatana Goswami came to Jagannath Puri, and his plan was to quit his body, to give up his body, to commit suicide actually by coming under the wheel of Jagannath chariot, because next month it was Ratha Yatra. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Antarjami, he knows everyone's heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then came, he saw Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur talking to each other. And the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana, I heard that now you are planning to quit your body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly says, because he's Supreme Lord, he knows. And then he made a beautiful statement. He told Haridas, indicating Sanatan Goswami, he says, see, Haridas, these two brothers, Rup and Sanatan, they say everyone, they have given up everything for my sake. They are completely surrendered unto me. And like they have given everything to my lotus feet. Now just consider that you are trying to quit your body. How can you quit your body? Because when you say you have surrendered everything, that means your body belongs to me. Your body is my property. So how can you give up my property without my permission? And Haridas was so pleased, So the point is that, why I'm saying after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. And then how a devotee should appreciate each other. And then there is a discussion between Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu left. So Haridas was so pleased by hearing from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haridas told Sanatan, you are so fortunate. No one is fortunate in this three world like you, that today Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is considering your body as his property. Who can be more, who can be more fortunate? The Supreme Lord is considering yourself as his own. So then, like there is a beautiful discussion, how Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur are glorifying each other. So then Sanatan Goswami, he replied to Haridas Thakur. He said, no, Haridas, I am not great Vaishnava. You are great Vaishnava. Although you are born in a Muslim family, but you are practicing so rigorously, chanting 192 rounds. Then Haridas said, no, Sanatan, you are a great Vaishnava. You are great Vaishnav. You both, brothers, you gave up such a big force, position, Takta Turnam Ashesha Mandalapatim Shanim Sadat Uchabat, and then you surrendered everything to, Lord Chaitanya. I have not given up anything like this. Then Sanatana said, no, Haridas, you are a great Vaishnav. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's purpose to come in this material world is to spread the holy name of the Lord, and he did everything with you. And then Haridas Thakur says, no, Sanatan, actually with you and your brother Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he established so many things. So this way they are kind of, is competing with each other, that who can glorify whom. So Sanatan Goswami is glorifying Haridas Thakur is glorifying Sanatan Goswami. So that should be the mode of devotees, and Prabhupada said that is the, that is called Vaikuntha mode. That is called Vaikuntha mode. In Vaikuntha, everyone, they glorify each other. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Mandara Kunda Kuruvat Pulo Champakarana. When four Kumaras, they went to spiritual world, and they came back, they were narrating the beautiful description of spiritual world to their father Brahma, and says, when we went to spiritual world, we saw even the plants, Mandar, Kundal, Lily, Parijat, all the plants, they are full of fragrance. But still, Tulasi ka bharanena tasya, Gandhar with Tulasi ka bharanena tasya, they are offering their respect to Tulsi Maharani, because Tulsi Maharani performed in severe austerity to get the position at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So that is the mode of Vaikuntha. They glorify each other. So Sanatan and Haridas Thakur almost, more than half an hour, they are glorifying each other. Sanatan is establishing Haridas how you are great. Haridas Thakur is establishing how Sanatan Goswami is great. And if we are asked, we can speak about more than 1 hour about ourselves, how we are great, not other Vaishnavas. So, and then finally, Sanatana Goswami actually defeated Haridas Thakur. He says, Haridas, Achar karahe ki ho na kare prachar, prachar karahe ki ho na kare achar, achar prachar namer karaho dvikarya, tumi sarva guru tume jagate arjan. Actually, you are great because you are, not only, there are some devotees who only practices, but they don't preach. And there are another category of devotees, they only preaches, but they don't practice themselves. But you are doing both. Achar prachar namer karaho dvikarya. You are chanting, at the same time you are preaching, like Haridas Thakur preached to that prostitute, Maya Devi, and many people in the village of Advaita Acharya Thakur. So therefore you are actually great Acharya. So that's how should be the relationship between Vaishnavas to glorify each other. So many a time we fail to see other devotees, wonderful qualities. But now every devotee, in Krishna consciousness movement, they have many unique qualities, many wonderful qualities, So we should, appreciate other qualities. Like, Sanatan Goswami was, kind of listing the qualities of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was also doing the same thing, So we should, write down the qualities of other Vaishnavas, especially with whom we, deal always, Like, once, Srila Prabhupada, he went to a temple and then there was Istagoshti and all the devotees, they are complaining, including temple authority, temple president and commander, they were complaining about one devotee, Srila Prabhupada. And they were like, everyone was saying negative about that devotee. And everyone, they were complaining about the devotee. And they said, Prabhupada, we have to, throw him out of the temple because he's not following anything. He's creating problem, among devotees and other things, so many things. And then, Prabhupada was silent for a few moments. And then, Prabhupada asked, every devotees, so do you think, he don't have any qualifications? Does he have any qualities? And then someone raised hand and says, Srila Prabhupada, he can play very good mridanga. And Prabhupada says, see, you all can't play good mridanga. And because of this good quality, he can stay here. So we should, appreciate each other, Vaishnavas, like Sanatan and Haridas Thakur did, Another, after that, that is also related to Vaishnav, Vaishnav etiquette, that is, after that incident, and Sanatan Goswami, he came to Jagannath Puri to quit his body under the wheel of chariot. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Tota Gopinath temple, that is, close to Jagannath temple, other side of Jagannath temple. So he was, taking lunch. So he called Sanatan Goswami. He invited Sanatan Goswami for lunch. Now, Sanatan Goswami, he was staying with, Haridas Thakur. Now, from Haridas Thakur's place, Siddhabakul, to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place, Tota Gopinath, there are two routes. So he can come by this way or he can come by this route. This is the main route, main Raj Marg, and it comes by the front gate of Jagannath temple, Singhadaram. But another route is, by the sea beach. So he can walk by sea beach and he can reach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sanatan Goswami, he decided he will walk by the sea route rather than coming by the main road. So Sanatan Goswami came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Sanatan Goswami, in which route you came. Generally, we don't ask this question, by which route you came. So Sanatan Goswami says, Mahaprabhu, I came by this, sea beach route. Mahaprabhu was shocked. He says, you already got blister on your feet because you came from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. You have skin disease, but yet you came by this, so hot sand. And because of that, actually, he got even more blister. He says almost, the foot skin burned. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked Sanatana Goswami, why didn't you come by the main road, which comes, by Jagannath Puri temple's, front gate? And then Sanatana Goswami with the humble mode, he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, in the front gate, there are many pujaris of Lord Jagannath, pandits of Lord Jagannath. They keep on, walking here and there with bhoga, with other offering oblations for Lord Jagannath. And my body is contaminated. And if I touch their body, it will be great offense because they are serving Lord Jagannath. You know. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was smiling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu extremely happy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, Sanatan, you are, thinking that, by touching your body, these pujaris, pandas of Jagannath temple, they will become contaminated. But you are such a great devotee. He says, like we sang on this song, that Brahmanda Tarita Shakti. Simply by touching your body, whole universe will become purified. But you are thinking, if pandas and pujaris, they touch your body, their body will be contaminated. That is the mode of Vaishnavas. So they consider themselves very lower in front of other Vaishnavas. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it's still, I became very happy with this behavior. And he says, Tathapi Bhakta Sabhav Maryada Rakshan Maryada Palan Hai Sadhuru Bhushan. He says, in every sadhu, they should have these ornaments. Bhushan means ornaments. That is, and to follow the principles of Vaishnava etiquette, Maryada Rakshan, and never break the principle of Vaishnava etiquette. Says, So it says, kind of set up the example of Vaishnava etiquette. By touching your body, universe can become purified. But he was thinking, the pujaris is there serving, rendering service, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely happy with Sanatana Goswami's behavior. And that should be the mode of a devotee. No matter how advanced he is, he considers himself very lower. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami, he chose to, to another. Another, beautiful, episode comes in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited, uh, Haridas Thakur. See, like, Haridas Thakur, he was, not going to Jagannath temple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come to meet him every day. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not come to meet Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur was sick actually. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant Govinda, he came and then he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Haridas is actually sick. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately came next day to see Haridas Thakur, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, how are you, Haridas Thakur? What happened, what disease you got? See, Mahaprabhu is so caring. Among Vaishnavas, we should have developed this quality of caring nature. See, we have, so much concern, love, care for our families, our, relatives. But do we have similar for the other devotees? They are our real asset, not our family members, our, relatives. Vaishnavas are our real friend. Suridam Sarvabhutam, like Krishna is our real well-wisher. Similarly, Vaishnavas are our real well-wisher. Prabhupada many times says, ISKCON is like a family. Do you have similar concern for devotees? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately came. He, touched Haridas Thakur body, what disease you got. You see, many times, devotees, in the same community, they fell sick, but we don't have time to go to meet them, to ask them, like, how is your health? Just when someone get fever, you just visit them in hospital, them home, just touch their forehead, how is your fever? They'll be so happy devotees, But, but, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was so busy. He was, taking care of so many devotees, hundreds of thousands of devotees. But yet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has time for each and every devotee to take care of everyone's need. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kind of, visited Haridas Thakur. He says, how is your health? So, we should have, love and care for other Vaishnavas, And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur, of course, he told Sanatan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur that, Haridas, you become old. Why do you have to chant so many rounds? You can reduce the number of your rounds. But Sanatan Haridas Thakur says, no, Mahaprabhu, I am so fallen. I'm so degraded, This is my only hope. Therefore, don't ask me to reduce my rounds. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, beautiful. Correct. And then, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Haridas Thakur, what is your desire? Haridas Thakur says, Mahaprabhu, I am feeling that, you are very soon, you are going to quit your fast times. So therefore, my desire is I want to leave my body. I want to quit my body before you leave this material world. Before you close your first times in this Kali Yuga. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not allowing in the beginning. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not allowing in the beginning, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, Haridas, how is possible? Because I am getting strength from you. You are Namacharya. So therefore, I am spreading the glories of holy name through you. And if you leave me, then how will I get a strength, happiness, joy, bliss I am getting because of you. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became actually emotional. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur says, I want to leave my body. So, and therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wasn't allowing. He became almost, he was crying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how Haridas is possible, you will leave me. But Haridas Thakur said, no, Mahaprabhu, no, I was so fallen, degraded, but you, because of your mercy, I got the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, but I want to quit my body. But why we're discussing this, is, his mood was so humble, Haridas Thakur then told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, how will I, manage myself? How will I, spread the glories of the holy name of the Lord without you? Then he says, Haridas Thakur says, Ama yadi ek kit mari gelo, ek pipili kamaile prithvi kahani. Such a beautiful instruction. He says, my dear Lord, if an insignificant insect like me dies, what is the loss? If an ant dies, where is the loss to the material world? Haridas Thakur, he is comparing himself with an ant. He is saying that, Mahaprabhu, and actually later on he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, you have so many great devotees. He says, more Shiramani Kata Kata Mahashaya, like Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. All they are great devotees. They are like elephant, and I am like an ant. Haridas Thakur says, they are like elephant and I am like ant. So therefore, he says, if an insignificant ant dies, what is the loss? If an ant dies in front of your home, will it publish next day newspaper, social media? So Haridas Thakur is such a great devotee. He is saying, I am like an ant. And he was comparing other devotees, they are like elephant, So that should be the mode of a devotee. Haridas Thakur is such a great devotee, Namacharya. And his mode is, he's like an ant, and other devotees, they are like elephant, So, another, beautiful, episode in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first time, that is, that is how, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he kind of, he dealt with Damodar Pandit, So there was a devotee, Damodar Pandit, who was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate. Few devotees, they traveled with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Jagannath Puri, and Damodar Pandit was one of them. So this Damodar Pandit, this Damodar Pandit, he had a special love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, one little boy, he used to come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his quarter every day. And this little boy was very beautiful, very little boy, maybe few years, 7, 8 years. So, but his mother, that boy, his mother was widow. His father died innocently. His mother was very beautiful, young. So Damodar Pandit, he didn't like that boy was meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every day. So he thought in his mind, I should tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sannyasi, and this boy's mother is widow, and people see it, in good sense. So one day he came and he told Mahaprabhu, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I can't I can tolerate, you are meeting this, boy every day. And in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to be scared in front of Damodar Pandit. Even when there is a description when devotees they are requesting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to meet King Prataprudra. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he rejected 3 times. Finally, he says, whatever if I meet, I am a sannyasi. If I meet this materialistic king, what will people say? What to speak of other people? Damodar Pandit himself, he will actually chastise me. So Chaitanya, he kind of tried to correct Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Prabhupada wrote in the purport, it was wrong from Damodar Pandit's side to correct Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, how can he make mistake? That it. For us, it's okay. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, see, he underestimated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's position. Now this is very, very kind of, beautiful. Why? Because how we should correct other Vaishnavas, we can see from this beautiful first time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't say anything, and Damodar Pandit told Mahaprabhu, you should not meet this boy every day. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after few days, maybe 1 week or 10 days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day called Damodar Pandit alone in his quarter. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Damodar Pandit, he said, Prabhu kahe Damodar chalha nadiya, matar samipe tumi raho taha jaiye. He said, my dear Damodar, you had better go to Nadia, Mayapur, and stay with my mother. So Prabhupada gave beautiful purport. Prabhupada says it was, kind of indirectly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave punishment to Damodar Pandit, because Damodar Pandit was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the time ever since he came to Jagannath Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kind of, he gave indirect punishment, because if he, stays with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will commit mistake again and again. He will find fault again and again. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Damodar Pandit, you should better go to Mayapur. You can take care of, Sachi Mata. And he says, Tuma binataha rakshan nahi dekhi an amake ho jat tumi kaila sabadan. And I can see, my mother is not listening to anyone. Since you are so careful, you can protect me. You can, you can caution even me. So definitely you can, take care of my mother. But this is why this episode is important, because many times, among the Vaishnavas, correct each other. Definitely someone may commit mistake like Damodar Pandit, not exactly like this, but in any kind of mistake someone may commit. But the problem is when we, correct others, our relationship spoils. So Mahaprabhu taught constructive punishment. So constructive punishment means, first thing, one should remember when we correct someone, don't correct immediately. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't correct immediately. He didn't say anything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he called him after almost a week. So our tendency is to correct immediately, senior, junior, or equal to equal, or senior to, juniors. So we should not correct someone immediately, should give some time. And then second thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't correct him in front of everyone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him alone in his personal quarter in Gambhira. And if we find someone genuinely did some mistake, we want to correct in front of everyone, so that I can show that I found his fault and I am correcting him. I want to show our power. That is especially the seniors. Mahaprabhu, he didn't call him in front of everyone, he didn't chastise him. See Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he called him alone. So two things, one is, don't correct immediately, and second is, don't correct in front of others, in front of so many bodies. And another third is, correct, if you want to correct someone, correct gently, gentle way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not have, how dare are you and find fault in me? No. Just consider, if someone asks the same thing to us, we'll never tolerate, we'll try to get rid of this devotee. No more service in next Rath Yatra, no service in Janmashtami, because you went against me. I am the leader, But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very gentle. And what he says, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is called constructive correction. He says, see, Damodar, I was thinking actually, the way you give me warning time to time, I think, it will be better for you to go to Mayapur and you can take care of my mother. See, and then Prabhupada wrote in the purport, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so brilliant. Indirectly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deprived Damodar Pandit from his association. And Damodar Pandit, he didn't mind also. He understood his mistake. So the first thing is, we should not correct immediately. Second is, we should not correct in front of others. And third is, we should correct gentle way. And then fourth is, we should be merciful when you correct someone. So many times, we don't have this compassion mode in our mind when you correct. Why we are correcting someone? Because, they have some shortcomings. That's why we are trying to correct someone. But we should have a compassion mode. Anyone can make mistake. And Prabhupada used to say, to error is human being, and anyone can commit mistake. I can also make the same mistake. So therefore, we should have compassion while correcting others. So therefore, this is very beautiful how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he kind of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he kind of gave beautiful instruction to Damodar Pandit how to correct other Vaishnavas. One another beautiful episode comes in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first time, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dealing with Jagadananda Pandit. Jagadananda Pandit, he was also traveling with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going to Puri after taking sannyas. So few devotees, they are traveling like Nityananda Prabhu, like you can say Nityananda Prabhu and three others. So Nityananda Prabhu is one, and then Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda Pandit, and they were with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Jagadananda Pandit, he was the incarnation of Satyabhama. Like Satyabhama, the queen of Krishna, one of the principal queen of Krishna from Dwarka. So she like that's why his mood was quite different, because Satyabhama's mood was little different. Satyabhama's mood and Rukmini's mood is different. Rukmini's mood is the way Krishna want to be served, she would serve accordingly. But Satyabhama's mood is different. The way she wants, Krishna have to take her service. This kind of bomb right and left wing kind of. So since Damodar Pandit, he is kind of incarnation of Satyabhama, therefore he was maintaining same mood. So he kind of when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he had very special love, because previously he Satyabhama, like husband-wife mood. So he could not tolerate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sleeping on floor. And he was chastising Mahaprabhu's servant, how come you allow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's so tender body to sleep on this hard floor? He made, with some, plants, with the banana plants, and he made a pillow and bed for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't accept it. He rejected that. And then, after that, another occasion, he, brought very fragrant oil for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is good for, summer season, so that Mahaprabhu can, put on his head, and Mahaprabhu can, get relief from extreme hot. This kind of a Navaratan tel. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he brought it, and then he gave it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant Govinda took it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He told Mahaprabhu, Jagadananda, he brought very special oil for you so that you can put on your head. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very angry. The last time, he brought this, pillow and bed for me. This time, he brought in this pregnant oil for me. What does he think? My sannyas is a joke? Now, Jagadananda chahe more Vishay Bhunjayate. He want to make me materialistic, because for sannyasis and brahmacharis, they shouldn't use pregnant oil. It's restricted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then what he says, Govinda, since he brought it, so what you take it back to him and tell him to offer this oil in lamp of Jagannath temple, so that his liver doesn't go to vain. So then, he brought this to Jagadananda Pandit, this oil pot. Jagadananda became so angry. He says, whatever I bring for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't like, he doesn't love me, like, husband-wife mode. So he took that, oil pot, he smashed it. And then, if you go to Puri, Jagannath Puri, you see Bhaktivinoda Thakur house, our ISKCON temple, that is. So just next building of ISKCON temple is this place, Jagadananda's house. Just next building, touching ISKCON temple. So when you go Jagannath Puri, visit that place, just next building of ISKCON temple. So still that worshipable deities of Lord Jagadanda Pandit is there. So he kind of, this Jagadanda Pandit, he smashed, he broke that oil pot and he closed his door. For 3 days, he was fasting. He wasn't taking any food. He was kind of upset to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why we're discussing is, because when sometimes when, because of some disagreements and something happen, may happen with other Vaishnavas. So what should we do? So he had kind of disagreement with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the way he wanted to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't like this. So therefore, he was fasting 3 days, and someone told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, see, that Jagadananda, the last 3 days, he was not eating anything. Now, you see, because he had some disagreements, similarly, we may have disagreements, but someone have to come forward. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is senior than Jagadananda Pandit. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't maintain this. No, if he doesn't eat, what is my fault there? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't maintain this mood. He went and he heard from devotees that Jagadananda, he got hurt. Therefore, he is not eating for last 3 days. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, and in front of because he closed the door, Jagadananda Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knocked the door. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jagadananda, that today, noon, I'll come to your home. I'll take lunch at your home. And Jagadananda heard, although he was not happy with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Mahaprabhu wasn't taking any service from him. And he was so happy. He opened his door and he cleans his room, everything. He went to market, purchase vegetables, groceries, everything. And he's so, because his Satyabhama's incarnation, So in few hours, he made, like he says, thousands preparations. Few hours. And the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came lunchtime. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down for prasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a thali, like it's a Govardhan hill, rice, sabjis, dal, curry. But now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not saying anything. So Jagadananda was serving, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eating prasadam. No one is talking to each other because, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagadananda in a different mood now, husband-wife mode, they had disagreements. So he is serving and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is full, his stomach is full. Yet Jagadananda is serving more and more prasadam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can't say no because if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says no, then another 3 days fasting. So, it's very difficult for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was taking more prasadam. And finally, at one moment, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not take any more. He's totally full. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and Jagadananda, I was thinking that, first thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Krodha besher Akir hoy swad eight jani tomai Krishna prasad. He says, Jagadananda, I was just thinking the prasadam you cook is so delicious, so tasty. Even in angry mood, Krodhavesh, when you cooked, it's so delicious. When you cook in normal mood, how delicious that prasadam. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reestablished his relationship. See why this is very important. Prabhupada he made for put in Upadeshamrit. In Upadeshamrit, that Dadati Pratigrinati, Guyam Prachati, the Shadavidam Pratilakshanam. That 6 loving exchanges between devotees. That is important because that Rup Goswami mentioned in the 2 items very important, that is Bhongte Bhojayate. This is real Vaishnava culture, Mahaprabhu's culture. If you have your relationship is spoiled with someone, just invite them for prasadam or bring their favorite dish to them. And see, the relationship will be established again. So it's very important, See, all the devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates, they were living in Jagannath Puri for about 4 months. Every year, 4 months they would go, and 4 months before Ratha Yatra, and 4 months they would spend, everyone, all the associates, they had house in Jagannath Puri, and after Ratha Yatra they would come back to Bengal. And now see how they are maintaining relationship. Somebody is 200 devotees. They were maintaining relationship. How they were maintaining in a community, we may have also like 200, 300 devotees. They were a kind of every day they made a routine. Every day, the Mahaprabhu, in the presence of Mahaprabhu, they made a routine. Okay, these days of the month, I will take the responsibility of Vaishnav Seva. So this is very important, to maintain, relationship between others, We may know philosophy and so many things, how to maintain relationship, but this is very important. When you serve Vaishnavas, when you feed Vaishnavas, your relationship will be automatically established. And like Mahaprabhu Jagadananda had arguments, but then through prasadam, then their relationship reestablished. That's why it's very important. Another very important it's kind of it's also related to Vaishnav relation. That is how one should welcome Vaishnavas. That is this is Pratap Rudra, King Pratap Rudra of Jagannath Puri. Initially he was not a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mataji, you remind me, and to finish because it's unlimited, Mahaprabhu's first time. So just give me.
Yeah, Prabhu, you can 9:15 is that? I mean, sorry. You can go ahead for another 15 minutes. Is that okay? 15-20 minutes. And if any questions, if you are okay with that.
Yes. So this this is so important. This King Pratap Rudra of Jagannath Puri. Initially, he was not devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later on, his mind melted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he heard from other Vaishnavas, but he wasn't still convinced. But he, from his rooftop, every day he would see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform Sankirtan in front of Jagannath temple. So by seeing all this Sankirtan program, glories of Mahaprabhu, his mind was slowly melting. But one occasion, every year, as I mentioned, 200 Vaishnavas, they would come from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to see Ratha Yatra. But one year, this king, when he was on his rooftop, he was shocked to see that devotees, they were coming, headed by Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. They would take all the devotees every year and they would go back to Bengal again, Mayapur. So he saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he sent his personal servant Govinda, Kashi Mishra, and others with garland to receive Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya Thakur. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, he is so superior, senior than anyone. But here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed Vaishnava culture. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so already, Vaishnavas are coming, we have to get ready, we have to prepare. When Vaishnavas comes to our place, nowadays this somehow other, we don't have these, trends, because of this, Western culture. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he was already anxious. Wow, such a great, the Vaishnavas are coming to my place. What can be most, what can be more fortunate? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one day before he started preparation. Okay, Govinda, take this garland for Advaita Acharya Thakur. For Nityananda, you put this garland to him. And all other Vaishnavas, you all take care. When they will come, he will come. Mahaprabhu listed him, he had list. So that's how Mahaprabhu showed how we should, receive Vaishnavas. And Advaita Acharya Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, after taking bath in, after taking, coming from there, in the Jagannath Puri border, they entered Jagannath Puri and they were received by this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu servant with garland and everything. Then this king, on from his rooftop, he saw one incident. These devotees from Bengal, they, they just, they before even entering into Jagannath temple, before going to see Lord Jagannath, they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's quarter and they started to take prasadam. King was so surprised. What type of devotees they are? They didn't even see Lord Jagannath. So see, Mahaprabhu preparing everything one day before. Mahaprabhu, he kind of saved prasadam for all these Vaishnavas. See, these Vaishnavas, they are coming. And they are coming, they are coming, so tomorrow, so I have to save prasadam for them. So Mahaprabhu personally, he kept prasadam for everyone. And he kept prasadam for everyone. And from Jagannath Puri temple, he kept garland, he kept everything. So that's how Mahaprabhu showed how to welcome Vaishnavas. So this king, when he saw that these Vaishnavas from Bengal, even before seeing Lord Jagannath, they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's quarter and they started to take honor prasadam. So he asked, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He says, what type of Vaishnavas are they? They just came according to Vedic scriptures. When we go to any holy place, we should first take bath according to scripture, and we should, like the male, they should shave themselves and they should clean themselves, take bath. They should wear, this, very, kind of, neat and clean garments, and they should enter into they should see the predominating deity of that city, and then they can honor prasadam. But this devotee, without caring for bath, taking care of shaving, cleaning, without wearing new cloth, they just went to take prasadam. Then Sarvabhauma says, "You see, my dear king, whatever you are saying, that's true, is mentioned in the scripture. But these devotees, their love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much, their attraction for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, therefore the rules of the scripture does not apply for the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu," he says. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devotees are beyond the rules of the scriptures, doesn't apply. So the point is that, how, we, should actually, maintain relationship with, devotees. That's what I say, in this verse, So, so it's, very important, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed this example. And one, one more, one important section from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first time, that is, I say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to tell everyone that okay. Ekaki amar nahi pai bal harinam sankirtane. Yeah. So Ekaki amar nahi pai bal harinam sankirtane. Prabhupada wrote this letter to His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj in 1976. Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says that I cannot do anything alone. I am helpless. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he wants the help of his devotees. And what to speak of me? And Prabhupada says, So it's very important because Kalo Sangha Shakti in Kali Yuga is very important. Cooperation is very important, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, Supreme Lord Prabhupada is saying, all the Supreme Lord, he can do everything alone, but he wants the help of his devotees. And what to speak of us, So therefore, we cannot think that we'll render everything alone. So we have to basically perform the sankirtan along with devotees, kalo sangha shakti, with other devotees. So with other devotees, difficulties will come, disagreements will come, but we have to remember, Prabhupada says unity in diversity. Prabhupada says unity. The disagreements and problem will come, but still we should remember unity in diversity. So association of devotees does not mean that only association. Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita introduction, Prabhupada mentioned association, cooperation, and participation. So many times we associate with Vaishnavas, but we don't cooperate. And many a time we associate, we cooperate, but we don't participate in their programs. So association and cooperation are connected. If you just associate, the example is Arjuna. See, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was associating with Krishna, but not cooperating with Krishna. So that combination wasn't successful in the beginning. But later on, Arjuna says, Karishya Bachanam, my dear Lord, I am ready to do whatever you ask me. Then it was perfect combination. That's why it's Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara. So that became successful because whatever Arjuna or Krishna was telling, Arjuna was following. So association means not only associating Vaishnavas, but to cooperate with each other. See, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he gave his last 3 instructions before leaving his body in Vrindavan. The final 3 instructions of Srila Prabhupada. The one is, Prabhupada says, that your love for me will be shown how you are cooperating with each other. And second, Srila Prabhupada says, GVC is the ultimate authority, always remember. And third, Prabhupada says, no matter whatever happens, never ever leave ISKCON. So Prabhupada, he reminded, these last 3 instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So that's why, this is important and to live in cooperation with other devotees. So, but if there is friction and problems, then it will be a big problem. We'll just read few Prabhupada quotes in the last 10 minutes. So in Prabhupada, 1969, Srila Prabhupada says, see, he wrote this letter to Gargavan. He says, but one thing is most, you must stop this fighting between brothers. So 1969, can you imagine, when this movement was started? Prabhupada started this movement in 1969. Prabhupada says this, that you must stop this fighting between brothers, Otherwise, the whole program will be spoiled. Yourself, Tamal Krishna, Brahmananda, Swaswarup, you should do everything combinedly. That is my request. Gradually, by Krishna's grace, we are expanding. So, if amongst us there is friction, it will be very dangerous. So, in 1969, why Prabhupada is writing this letter? Definitely, there are some problems. But here Prabhupada says, Krishna's grace is expanding everything. But if there is, friction problem, then it will be a big problem, See, in this, what is called Chandgaji, Chandgaji, attacked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sevas Thakur's house. He stopped Sankirtan, he broke Mridanga, Kartal, everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went with Marshal to challenge Chandgaji to defeat him. And so many people joined. It says even demigods also joined on that yatra. Like millions of people joined. So Prabhupada once giving lecture, Prabhupada says, that shows no external enemy can destroy our movement. Chatkaji was powerful. He was kind of ruler of the Navadvip at that time. But he couldn't do anything because all the devotees were united. So Prabhupada gave this example, because all the devotees are united. If we are united, no external enemy, no matter how powerful, they can't do any harm. But if we have internal conflict and friction, then a small external enemy can destroy our movement. So therefore, Prabhupada, he wanted them, Prabhupada, So therefore, Prabhupada's famous quote, Prabhupada says, please therefore try to maintain the philosophy of unity and diversity. That will make our movement successful. One section of men have already gone out. Therefore, we must be very careful to maintain unity and diversity. So that time, Srila Prabhupada was requesting, because few devotees they left. So Srila Prabhupada says, please maintain unity and diversity. Yes, there will be problem, there will be differences. But already a group of devotees they left. At that time, so therefore Prabhupada is requesting, So, and then Prabhupada used to tell this beautiful story, bundle of sticks, Aesop's fables, this story. Father asked children to break the bundle of sticks wrapped in a bag. They could not do that. But when they removed it, they gave one stick to each one's hand, they could easily break it. So Prabhupada, told in 1973, Kritananda Maharaj, that this is the strength of unity. If we are, united, we can never be broken. But when divided, then easily, can become broken very easily, That's why, it's very important, One, like, see, Prabhupada, he requested, see, when there is differences between devotees, Prabhupada says, it gives pain to me. And just consider Prabhupada is, in a spiritual world, this is his family, Srila Prabhupada's institution. And if we fight among each other, then the problem will, Prabhupada will not be happy in his spiritual world. He'll feel pain. It's like, there was a, like there was two brothers. Every day they used to give masses to their father. So father was a farmer. So father one night came, he was very extremely tired, exhausted. He, went to bed. So as usual, both brother, they goes two sides of the bed. So one takes, right leg, another takes left leg. They give massage to their father every day. So one day they had disagreements. Both the brothers, they had a conflict. Now father was tired as usual. So he went to the bed, and both the brothers, they took one leg. And while massaging their father's feet, they were arguing with each other. You did this, you did that, and you did that. They're like a fighting. And instead of giving soft massages, they were tightly, like pressing their father's leg. So is this example is given because when we fight, we are giving pain to Srila Prabhupada actually. So, but when we are together, we can give soft massages, to Srila Prabhupada. But when we are, fighting, that means we are giving pain to Srila Prabhupada, So therefore, Prabhupada says it, See, already, I'll give one beautiful example. This is, example of, what is called porcupine. You know this animal porcupine? Um, is common in Asian countries like in some state of India, Afghanistan, that Pakistan, these areas. See, this porcupine, and see the example is given why, because we are already under the clutches of Maya. We are always struggling to get rid of Maya and the influence of Kali. And if we stay united, then we'll be secured. So example is given. This is a particular animal, porcupine. They call it porcupine. Huh? This porcupine has it says about 30 to 40,000 spikes on their body. It's kind of thorn. So 30 to 40 is very sharp. And they live Asian countries, mainly the coldest region, like say Kashmir and other places in Pakistan, also some Tibet Himalayan range. Sometimes they comes out in winter season. So these it says the example is given, this porcupine. See, they have this 30-40,000 of spikes in their body, but they can't tolerate the temperature more than 4 or 5 degrees. They can live only in cold place. So they can't tolerate. But now when temperature goes high, now they have to die, because they can't tolerate, their body can't tolerate. Then what they do? They kind of all the porcupines, they comes together. It is something almost what is called another penguin. Penguin also, they do the same thing. So they scratches each other body. They scratches each other body because they have these spikes. Then what happens? Because of these spikes, the blood comes out from their body, and then they survives. So example is given of this porcupine. They have two choice. One is either they have to die because of high temperature, or they basically or this they have this they have what is called, they have to die, or they have blood bath. So when blood comes, sorry, I gave it wrong. It's when it gets temperature goes down actually. So when blood comes, body becomes hot. So difficult times, when we faces Maya attacks us, we give up association of devotees, or we go away from devotees. We need actually more association at that time. That's why it's very important to stay with devotees. We this is from scriptures. We have these two beautiful example, that is how we should cooperate with each other. One is Krishna, how he was stealing butter, and monkeys, they made the bridge. So these two example is given. We should work in the spirit of cooperation to fulfill the desire of Supreme Lord. So all the cowherd boys in Vrindavan, they are like synchronizingly, very systematic, cooperating with each other to fulfill Krishna's desire. Similarly, all the monkeys, they are also doing same thing to fulfill Lord Ramachandra's desire. So so many times this problem comes, differences comes, but we should always remember that this universe is diverse, so we should maintain university in diversity. Prabhupada gave this example once. He says variety of like roses. You can see there are many roses, like purple color, white color, yellow color, black, blue, different colors of, but there is variety. But but all the roses, different colors of roses, they are giving similar smell, fragrance. Right? So in Krishna consciousness, devotees will be they are from every every field, different background. So we should always remember we have to maintain an university in diversity and work in the spirit of cooperation. See and if we can't adjust to devotees here in this world, then how can we go to spiritual world? Like I'll just tell one small story. One devotee, she came to my Guru Maharaj. So she told she was complaining. She says Maharaj, see, I can't live with these devotees. A lot of politics, a lot of things going on. This word is so popular in ISKCON, more than in political party. And everywhere you go, the politics, and everywhere you say. Everywhere I go to you go Europe, Australia, America, Africa, Asia, India. So this word is so popular nowadays. Everyone say politics. And if I if I don't like others' opinion, I say they are doing politics. So, and then then Maharaj was busy. Maharaj said, okay, no problem. In your city, there is another center. You go there if you don't like. So she was going there. Next year, she came again. She said, Maharaj, this group also, they are doing politics. They are also not good people. They are creating all the problems. Then Maharaj says, okay, no problem. There's a big city, actually. Actually, that's in Europe. So anyway, so then, Maharaj told, okay, no problem. You go to other center. So she was going. And next year, again, she came. All the year I was with Maharaj. And then third time when she says, Maharaj, these people are also creating problem. They're not good. And the Maharaj became very happy. He says, I told you last 2 times, you are changing, this center to that center. And then Maharaj says, if you can't adjust to devotees in this world, how can you'll go back to spiritual world? And then Maharaj, jokingly, he says, see, in the spiritual world, there will be devotees from every district, every country, every every small villages of this world. So if you can't adjust with them now, how can you adjust them in spiritual world? So you can't, get qualification to enter into spiritual. And then he says, he gave the example. I remember he says, what is our size? He says, our size is Keshagra Satabhagasya Shatada. It's so tiny, even with, microscope, we can see our size. That is our real position. But we think ourselves so big. So this is our real position, that, the 10,000 tips of the hair is so tiny. And he says, exactly, the door of spiritual world is that much. Only those who develop that mentality, humility, they can only enter, because it's so tiny, spiritual world gate. Only those who develop that mood, I am Keshagar Satabhagas. I am that small. They can only enter into spiritual world. Otherwise, those who think themselves big, they can't enter into spiritual world. So I'll just, finish with one, beautiful example from two examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, and two, actually both are from Srimad Bhagavatam. See, we are discussing this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first time. In Mahaprabhu first time, one is, let's say, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are so compassionate. They forgave them. Like a small misunderstanding will be there in between us. So we should, develop the mode of forgiveness. How they forgive each other. Nityananda Prabhu forgave. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to kill Jagai Madhava. Nityananda forgave. Because his forgiveness is very important. And why? Because every devotee in Krishna consciousness movement, they have, certain qualities. Like this example, this is the razor blade and X. So X is so powerful. X can cut the tree but not cut the hair. The blade can cut the hair, but with blade you can't cut the tree. Is that it? So every devotee, powerful, less powerful devotee in Krishna consciousness movement, everyone, they have this, they have their unique quality. We can't say, I'm like X and I am like blade. No, both are important. Like Lord Ramachandra, he didn't discriminate between monkeys and a squirrel, and both are important. So therefore, we should not keep enmity with us. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, I do not desire anything for my greatest enemy other than highest welfare. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, always he used to remind this to his devotees, especially the ashram devotees of Gaudiya Math. So never ever desire anything, for your even greatest enemy rather than highest welfare. So I was giving this example, one is, devotees, they don't keep anything in their mind. Nowadays, the problem is, we keep, because of social media, other things, the relationship is spoiling even more. Someone says you something through WhatsApp, email or something. The problem is other, previously we used to communicate, physically. You can read things, but nowadays problem is, through this digitally we are communicating, and you can revisit things. Someone says you something, and you will open it every day. See, this devotee said this word to me, abusing word. Every day. This is the big problem. Don't send, this email, WhatsApp message if you are not sure. Just skip, If a good thing, you send, no problem. But when it comes, when you are in agreement, it creates big problem nowadays, everywhere, all over the world among devotees, because you can revisit again and again, you will visit it. What was the intention of devotee? Which word this devotee used? Definitely there was something in the devotee's mind. So difficult, So, so therefore, I should not, do this. But, we have few examples from the scriptures, One is, someone actually wrote in the message, some devotees have to speak some concluding was in Bengali, Prabhu. Okay. Okay, before that is Benil. Before that, someone says, and then giving Krishna in the center in relationship. Okay, so one, see, this is from Bhagavatam. This Ashwathama. Ashwathama killed. Ashwathama killed 5 sons of Pandavas and only brother of Draupadi, Drishadamna, and midnight, and that night, Krishna took Pandavas and Draupadi out night trip. When they came back, they saw their sons, and Draupadi's only brother died, because Ashwathama thought they are actually, mistakenly thought they are actually Pandavas and Draupadi. So then Draupadi wanted to take revenge, and Draupadi told Arjun, you should, bring the culprit. So Arjun found it was Ashwathama. Arjun, like bound him with rope. Arjuna dragged Ashwathama and brought him in front of Draupadi. But now, see, Draupadi, when she saw Ashwathama, Draupadi became compassionate. Although she wanted to take revenge, the killer of her sons and brother, but now she became compassionate. She says, no, Arjuna, you should forgive, because he is your guru's son. And I don't want to also, his mother should go through the same suffering like I am going. So therefore, she says you should forgive. The person next to Krishna is with the big, is Bhima. So Krishna is stopping. Bhima says, no, we'll definitely kill him. And Draupadi said, no, Bhima, forgive him. Now, and then there's disagreements in the same family. See? So it like, among us also sometimes this disagreement comes. So Bhima says, we should kill him. Draupadi says, we should forgive him. Now Krishna came. There Krishna is kind of their family. So similarly, when there are disagreements, we should bring Krishna in the center. The problem is, when disagreement comes, we immediately forget Krishna. Here, they had his disagreements between, Ashwathama, between Draupadi and Bhima, and therefore they brought Krishna. So when there are problems, conflicts, disagreements, issues, differences of opinion, we should bring Krishna. Otherwise, we can't find any solution. Krishna and Guru. We don't take shelter, we keep on fighting. We don't go to the superior, we don't go to the Vaishnavas. We keep on fighting. Now, the interesting part of this is, Krishna, he came, and yet still, Bhima and Draupadi fighting. Draupadi says, Krishna, we should forgive him. Bhima says, Krishna, no, we should kill him. And Krishna, you called me, you should listen to me, and you were fighting by keeping me center. Sometimes we think, this is in the beginning of Bhagavatam, first canto, 6th chapter. Sometimes we think, we came to Krishna consciousness, why there is fight between devotees, why there is conflict between devotees. See, this Pandavas, they kept Krishna in the center, they are fighting. Is that it? So we should not think Krishna is there, no fight. No, they kept Krishna in the center, they are fighting. So even with Krishna, in the presence of Krishna, there may be fight and disagreements, conflict, but we should see the end. So Krishna, then, Krishna told Bhima and Draupadi, because both are dear to Krishna. So Krishna says, see, Bhima and Draupadi, you are saying, one of you are saying that to forgive, one saying to kill him. Who brought Ashwathama? This is Arjuna. So Krishna gave that authority to Arjuna. Let Arjuna decide. Why both of you are fighting? Since Arjuna brought it, let Arjuna decide what he want to do. So Arjuna then gave justice, he kind of, he shaped him, in few portions, kept his, hair in few portions, and, took out his third eyes of envy. So Krishna, he didn't take decision. This is very important lesson. We can discuss on this topic for half an hour. Krishna didn't take the authority. Many times, when problem comes, our subordinates, they come with some problem with us, we take the authority, dictatorship. Okay, now I have the solution. Both of you listen to me. You have to be united. You should not have fight. You should not have problem. So now Krishna, he didn't take the position of dictatorship. He gave that right to Arjuna. He said, Arjuna, you give decision. Sometime we have to empower other devotees. We should deal with these problems rather than taking care of by ourselves. So Arjun, given the power by Krishna. So Arjun took that decision. So because it's difficult many times, because Bhim and Draupadi, they are both of them, they are dear to Krishna. So many times, especially to senior devotees, leaders, the managers of the temple, leaders, it becomes difficult, there is a fight between two devotees, and both of them will come to. Prabhu, you have to tell me which side you are. A big and very difficult question, everywhere, which side you are. And it's so difficult nowadays. You can't say this side or this side, because both of them are your subordinate. You love both of them, but they have disagreements, So sometimes you have to remain aloof, because if you say one single word, then it will create even more problem among them, So that's why, sometimes we have to intellectually deal, especially the leaders, So Krishna dealt very intellectually, to Bhima and Draupadi, So anyway, so that's that's how, a devotee is, and devotee deal with, problems and disagreements between others, So basically, if there are disagreements, we have to involve the senior devotee, we have to involve Krishna and Guru. And that's what, Draupadi and, Bhima did actually. Okay. Okay, I think I should finish here. Okay. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samavita Bhakta-vrinda ki, Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We love to hear more, but I understand here it is a 8:30 for devotees. But it was so enlivening and enlightening. We like to hear more. It's such a vast subject, but you covered so many wonderful lessons which we can take in our current life, apply in our current day situations. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And is it possible a few words in Bengali for the devotees who are here? Just probably a little kind of summary or something for the Bengali devotees.
Hare Krishna. How many Bengali?
That's a good good point. Actually, I don't know whether how many joined. Hare Krishna, how many Bengali Vaishnavas are here? Could you raise your hands, please? Then accordingly, Prabhu will decide.
আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি না বাঙালি কে কে আছেন, একটু হরি বল বলুন।
আমি আছি, হরি বল। হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু, ধন্যবাদ প্রণাম। হরি বল প্রভু, প্রণাম প্রভু। সবাই হ্যান্ড রাইজ করতে পারে, যারা বেঙ্গলি আমরা হ্যান্ড রাইজ করতে পারি, তাহলে প্রভুর ইজি হয়।
হরে কৃষ্ণ,
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু, দণ্ডবত প্রণাম।
ধন্যবাদ। হরে কৃষ্ণ,
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু, দণ্ডবত প্রণাম।
হরে কৃষ্ণ, ধন্যবাদ। সবাই ভালো আছেন আপনারা? হরে কৃষ্ণ।
হ্যাঁ।
ওকে,
হ্যাঁ প্রভু, ভালো আছি।
হরে কৃষ্ণ। ওকে, আমি প্রতি বছর জুলাইতে আসি ইউরোপে, দেখা হতে পারে যদি এবছর আসি জুলাইতে। হরে কৃষ্ণ। সো ভালো, আপনারা খুব সুন্দর ভাবে ভক্তি করুন। যমুনেশ্বরী মাতাজি গাইডেন্স, ভেরি নাইস, টেকিং কেয়ার অফ সো মেনি ডিভোটিস। আর আমরা আজকে যেটা চর্চা করলাম, মহাপ্রভুর লীলা থেকে, শেষে আমরা শ্রীমদ ভাগবতম থেকে কয়েকটা উদাহরণ দেখেছিলাম, যে মহাপ্রভুর উদাহরণ লীলা থেকে আমরা কি, মহাপ্রভু হচ্ছেন আপনি আচরি প্রভু জীবের শিখান। মহাপ্রভু নিজের আচরণের মাধ্যমে সবাইকে শিক্ষা দিয়ে গেছেন। তো মহাপ্রভুর শিক্ষাগুলো খুবই প্র্যাকটিক্যাল এই সময়ের জন্য, আমরা কিভাবে বৈষ্ণবদের ভক্তদের সাথে মিলেমিশে একসাথে ভগবান সেবা করতে পারি। কেননা কলিযুগে আমরা একা কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি করতে পারবো না, সম্ভব না এটা, তাই না? প্রভুপাদ উদাহরণ দিতেন যে জড় জগতে যে কোনো কিছুর জন্য সঙ্গ দরকার হয়, তাই না? যেমন আমরা একটা ক্লাসিক্যাল এক্সাম্পল দেখতে পাই, মানুষ যে নেশা করে, শরাব বা কি বলে মদ পান করে, সবাই একা ঘরে মদ পান করতে পারে, কিন্তু তাও সবাই পার্টি করে একে অন্যকে ডেকে চিয়ার্স করে মদ কেন পান করে? কেননা যখন অ্যাসোসিয়েশন যে কিছু করলে তার এনজয় আরো বেড়ে যায়। তো আমরা ভক্তি তো আমরা ডেফিনেটলি একা করতে পারবো না, সেজন্য আমাদেরকে সবাই সাথে একসাথে করতে হবে। কেননা বলেছে তিনটি জিনিস, ভক্তি, ভগবান, ভক্ত, এই তিনটে কানেক্টেড আছে একটার সাথে আরেকটা। আপনি ভক্তি মানে হচ্ছে ভগবান আর ভক্ত, ভক্ত মানে হচ্ছে ভক্তি আর ভগবান, আর ভগবান মানে হচ্ছে ভক্তি আর ভক্ত। তো আমরা এটাকে আলাদা করতে পারবো না, তাই না? তো সেজন্য আমাদেরকে ভক্তদের সঙ্গে সবকিছু করতে হবে। আমরা কিভাবে যত ভালো রিলেশনশিপ রাখবো, তাহলে ততই আমরা আধ্যাত্মিক জীবনে তত এগিয়ে যাবো, তাই না? আমাদের চেষ্টা করেছে যে আমরা আধ্যাত্মিক জীবনে যত কম ভক্ত আমাদের প্রতি অসন্তুষ্ট আছে, হতে পারে আমরা 100% সবাইকে সন্তুষ্ট করতে পারবো না, যত কম ভক্তকে আমরা সন্তুষ্ট রাখতে পারবো, তেন ভগবান আমাদের প্রতি তত বেশি সন্তুষ্ট হবে না। তো মহাপ্রভুর আমরা শিক্ষাগুলো দেখতে পাই, হরিদাস ঠাকুরের আমরা চর্চা করেছিলাম। তারপর আমরা দেখেছিলাম এই জগদানন্দ পণ্ডিত উদাহরণ, এটা তো বাঙালিদের জন্য বিশেষ। হ্যাঁ, জগদানন্দ পণ্ডিত প্রসাদ সেবা, হ্যাঁ, বাঙালিদের জন্য ফেমাস, তাই না? প্রসাদ জন্য, হ্যাঁ না? আমি কালকে এখানে আমাদের একটা খুব সুন্দর প্রোগ্রাম হয়েছিল অস্ট্রেলিয়াতে, বাঙালিদের প্রসাদের জন্য ফেমাস সব জায়গাতে। হ্যাঁ, তো এটা তো বাঙালিরা অনেক সৌভাগ্যবান। প্রভুপাদ বলেছেন এক জায়গাতে, কলিযুগে, কেননা ছোটবেলা থেকে মহাপ্রভুর কালচার সম্পর্কে অবগত আছে, তাই না? যেরকম ব্রজবাসীরা দাপর যুগে অনেক সৌভাগ্যবান ছিলেন ভগবান কৃষ্ণের কৃপা পাওয়ার জন্য, ঠিক একই রকম যে বাঙালিরা এরকম কলিযুগে অনেক সৌভাগ্যবান। আমরা বাই নেচার মহাপ্রভুর ভক্ত, কিন্তু আমাদেরকে সিদ্ধান্তগুলো ভালোভাবে জানা উচিত। যে মহাপ্রভুর পার্শ্বদেরা সবাই অলমোস্ট বাঙালি ছিলেন, কিভাবে ওনারা এরকম গৃহস্থ জীবনে থাকতেন, তারপরে মহাপ্রভুর প্রতি যে অ্যাটাচমেন্ট কিভাবে মেনটেন করতেন, তাই না? তো দেখে আমাদের শিক্ষা নেওয়া উচিত। ওকে, তো হরে কৃষ্ণ, আপনারা সবাই ভালো থাকবেন। হরে কৃষ্ণ, হরে বল, শিল প্রপাত কি।
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I hope they're all happy. Very nice.
But every generally in July I Europe.
Oh,
If I go
okay.
meet them, like last year I met you all.
Yeah. Please let us know in advance, Prabhu. So we would be happy to have some programs in physically. That would be very nice. All the devotees will be happy.
Whole July I'm in Europe, but I don't know exactly in UK falls in mid-July or something
Okay.
like that. But
Yeah, that'll be nice.
no problem.
Just one or two questions in case if anyone has. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, if you have any questions, please kindly ask or put it in the chat box. Actually, every Monday we have this CC class. I think last time also you came, during the CC, you gave us a wonderful session. Everyone liked it. And so normally we, because it's a working day next day, that's the reason devotees, but yeah, they love to hear. Any questions anyone has got? Please feel free to ask. See, yes. Yeah, they love to hear. Okay. Looks like they have a.
Okay, it's okay. I think no one has questions, so we can finish here.
Yeah, very
Thank you.
nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And we also would like to probably in another sessions sooner or later, depending on your availability, on the Vaishnava bhajans, Prabhu. It was very nice. We heard you in Bhaktivedanta manner. So we are looking forward for a time which is suitable for you, where you could.
Yeah,
you
we'll
know.
try. Or when I come, maybe offline we can have. I generally do bhajan sandhya. I mean, it's kind of explanation of Vaishnava songs.
Yes. Yes.
In Australia, New Zealand, like 3-4 hours bhajan
Oh,
sandhya.
wow. That's
And
nice.
they are proper team, American Kartal player.
Oh.
And these bhajans are very powerful actually. Because the form of song, it gives deeper impression in our heart, because it's empowered by Vaishnavas who are written in. This kind of essence of all the scriptures are there, So it gives more, impact in our heart. Yes, we can have something, no problem at all.
Okay. Thank you again, Prabhu, for your wonderful association and for inspiring all of us, and especially this very important subject of Vaishnava relationship. A lot of takeaway personally. And also, I hope it will definitely benefit all the Vaishnavas joined here today as well. So shall we all say 3 big Hari Bols for Prabhu and offer our gratitude? Hari Bol. Ansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiv cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. HG Rasanand Prabhuji.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
रात के लिए तो नहीं थे मंगलिया
We are showing the darshan of Lord Jagannath. So devotees, we can have the Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai, Shishi Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Chatatva ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all the devotees for joining today, and we can contemplate on this very wonderful class and see how we can incorporate and apply those wonderful teachings what Prabhu has given us today. Very, very wonderful. So we can all meditate on those wonderful points Prabhu gave today's class.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. See you all next week. Hari
Krishna.
Bol.
Hari
Prabhupada
Bol.
ki Jai. Jai. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्ण